Welcome back, soul brothers and sisters, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Conversation Between Soul Brothers, where we talk about the issues facing our communities and beyond. I'm with the homie, my man Phil Simmons. What up, though?
What up, though? What it do, baby? What it do? What it
It's the
do?
same old,
You
same
good?
old.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Actually, man, I'm excited to jump back into this one, man. We had a really good conversation on this one, brother. Had a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
things to think about, you know what I'm saying, as far as that. Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Looking
oh
forward
yeah.
to it.
Hey, shout out to my man Will and Bo out there, man. We'll
What
connect
up,
with
though?
y'all this week coming up.
Right, right. What up, though?
Let's jump on into this one there, man. You know, we gonna jump off of where we left off at
Excuse
last
me.
time.
Uh,
Selfishness. You know what? We gotta let's remind her what we're talking about. This was the top 10 relationship killers.
yes,
And we
yes,
started
yes.
we started from 10 and we did 10 up to 6, and
Six,
now we're gonna start with number 5.
number five. Number five.
Now now this one is selfishness. And it says marriage is one huge ongoing life lesson in unselfishness. And we'll either allow the experience to make us better or we'll grow bitter. Putting someone
Mhm.
first is an incredibly hard task because our flesh is wired to choose self.
You know what? Okay, so on that one, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that. Now, I agree with that. I agree from the part of selfishness. It's definitely it should be number five in that in the category of relationship killer from this one. But I will add to that in regards to I don't think that it's really about putting someone else first though. So I think that last little part, I'll argue that part a little bit. I will say that that relationship killers, that being selfish in a relationship was definitely going to affect that.
Mm-hmm.
100%. That's definitely going to affect it. But I don't think you have to walk into it, man, with a situation, bro, like where you, putting somebody ahead of anybody in this way. It's about the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the marriage, whether that's a relationship, however you choose to, to me, they one and the same.
Right.
People can say marriage is different in a relationship, but both of us been married, and the marriage is a relationship. Period. That's what it is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Different type.
So, just different kind, right? So that's a different kind. It's death do us part from this point in time, and so you working with that. But yeah, I would say that, man. I would say that's both people trying to understand, like there's gonna be some times, man, where you're gonna have to, put yourself in a situation that you got to think about you, because you may be looking at a situation a little bit differently than your partner may look at it as.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that you're being selfish though, right? But if overall, if you are being a person who's selfish in a relationship, that this is me, it's gonna go my way, my way, my way, yeah, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna we see what that's gonna be, bro. That's gonna be a lot of tension. It's gonna be a lot of going back and forth, a lot of fussing, fighting, arguing, and that shit just don't work. Period.
And seeing for that one, I pulled up, what I call my 5 C's for a relationship.
Okay.
Uh, Number one is communication, commitment, cooperation, consistency, compromise. Now,
Mm,
as far as this pertains to his selfishness, like you said, it's not about putting anyone first or second. It's just
mhm.
about, it's a lot of it is about reciprocation,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Very much so.
and then and then we got to know how to compromise.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Compromise. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we got to compromise because I know it ain't gonna always be my way. You got to know it's not it's gonna
Yeah.
be your
Okay.
way all the time, and then we got to be open minded to allowing the other person to have their say. You
That's right.
know,
Yeah.
as and I'm quite sure you and I are the same way. It's like, hey, sometimes I get to this point. It's like I have an idea. I'm gonna
Yeah.
roll with
Right.
it.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
sometimes your mate may have a better way of doing it. And
Doing
we
it.
just
That's true.
sometimes we got to be able to take that step back, listen to what they're saying, weigh the options, pros and
Mhm.
cons, and go from there.
Go from
Just
there.
being open minded.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, and I think that takes time, man. I think, like you just said, like I like those C's that you have with those 5 C's, man, in part of a relationship. I think that is so true. And like I say, man, that communication and compromise. You gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as and you got and I'm gonna say this and learn how to communicate to understand, right? That's a big one. Like I know for me that was a big one. Like we can talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? That's great. You can have a communication, you can have a relationship where y'all communicate and talking about everything. But when it comes down to understanding, that's
Yeah.
the part, right? So we can communicate, and then something we leave from this aspect of it. Boom, we talked about it, and then everybody still go off and do the same thing, and now everybody's looking at like, well, that was a selfish decision, and it's like, well, damn, I thought, well, we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it, but we didn't get an understanding on how that was gonna,
Clarity.
how you very much so, yeah, clarity, exactly. Have that clarity on it from this way. So then it can come across as being selfish in some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? So and sometimes some things are being selfish, not always intentional, right? Like sometimes people don't always be intentionally selfish this way. Like you just said, you may have an idea and you just went on and acted on it right away. And your partner may be like, well, damn, baby, you went and bought that oven. Like, damn, bought that stove. Why aren't you, why aren't you run that past me? And you like, you know what, babe, I happened to go out to the what's the name, and that boy was on sale. I've been watching it. Got marked down. They was having it today. So I went on and grabbed it. You know what I'm saying? And she like, yeah, I mean, but you ain't tell me about that. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, it was marked down. You know what I'm saying? I was out there at that
Right.
point in time, so I went on and grabbed it. It's like, okay, you feel me? So she may walk back and looking at you and be like, well, damn, that was a selfish decision. And you like, no, it was on sale at this. You know what I'm saying? So you constantly trying
Right.
to
Right.
right say this point. But I think what is, man, on that is just it's want to be included. It's inclusion,
Yeah.
right? Want to be included into the final decision from this point in time. And sometimes you'd be like, damn, we going back and forth haggling on this. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, sometimes as a guy, you just gotta sometimes I don't
I
have to
mean,
just pull
sometimes
the
you
trigger,
just
bro.
gotta, put
I
your
just gotta
foot
pull the
down and
trigger. Like,
just
yeah,
go with it, man.
yeah, it's gotta go with it, man. But
And the
but you can have those
intention.
arguments on that.
The
Yeah,
intention.
yeah, very much. Yeah,
It's like,
attention.
babe,
Yeah,
like you
that's
said,
true.
hey, look, we both saw it.
Hmm.
Price was right, time
Yeah,
was right, and my
yep.
money was right.
And our money was right, right. Perfect
so
opportunity, right? That's right.
so I grabbed it. It
Yeah,
wasn't like I
yeah.
bought this brand new $2,000 saw that I ain't gonna
Right, right,
use. This is a
right.
stove that we gonna
This is stuff
use every
that we
day.
gonna use. We're gonna use every day. We needed a new stove. You know what I'm saying? We said, hey, well, you know what? This one we can kind of get rid of. If something pop up, yeah, cool. It popped up. You know what I mean? And so you walking in with the intention that you did a good deed, and she's looking at it as if that was a selfish act, right?
Right.
So I think, like you just said, man, having clarity, having understanding, and including people into a conversation this way. I think you probably would have went a long way if you would have been there at Home Depot or wherever you got it from. Be like, hey, listen, hey, I'm standing in front of this stove. Let me FaceTime you and show you you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that inclusion, you eliminate some stuff this way, right? So
But you
yeah,
know what?
so learning to do that. Learning, man. Learning, brother. Learning.
Hey, but you know what? I've heard too many women say so often that men don't know how to make decisions, right? I got to do everything for them. I got to do this. I'm like, do y'all really want to do that? That's really like decisive because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it could be a battle.
Yeah, it could be a battle. It could be, you know what, man? I think with that, bro, I think it comes points and times in life where, and, a friend of mine and I were talking about this thing. People don't really know what they want in a relationship. They really don't. They really don't know what they really want in a partner until they get a partner. You see what I'm saying? And then you can get a partner and say to yourself, like, okay, well, you kind of going off of some past stuff. Like this wasn't, my past relationship, this was this, or my past relationship was this and this and this. And then we bringing those things to the table with the assumption that a lot of times, man, it's not even necessarily the other person. We got to learn how to check ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that person may not be being selfish. I may be the one that's holding anything that they do as them being selfish in a certain way. You feel me? But they wasn't being selfish. They really was doing what I asked them to do. You know what I'm saying? What I was saying that I thought that I wanted. And I think a lot of times, man, in relationships that I know I not only speak for myself, right? I can speak
Right.
for myself. I can speak from some clarity in some ways from as being a therapist from this way and some of the things that, you know, I see relationships and couples have problems with from this point in time. And a lot of it, man, is it's not that they're not communicating because they are communicating. It's just the fact, like you just said, it's the clarity of it, it's the understanding of it. And then walking away with a person like, man, you just gotta know your partner, bro. All this
Yeah.
stuff, man. You gotta know who you got.
And you
You
know what?
gotta know who you got.
And then I'm gonna add on top of that. Besides knowing your partner, you have to know who you are.
That part, yes.
You
Yep,
know, we
yep,
you have to understand your limitations. You know,
yeah, that's real.
if I'm the weak one when it comes to finances, I shouldn't
Hmm.
control finances. I'm
You're
not
right.
saying I shouldn't know about what's going on with finances. I'm just saying
Right.
maybe the stronger
Yeah.
person should say, okay, they sit down and explain to you what's going on and this and that and the other. And a partnership is all about being able to be the strong or the strength behind another person's weakness.
Yeah, I agree. I
You
agree.
know, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
complement
yeah,
each other.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's the authentic part of a relationship. Like you just said, man, we should be able to compliment each other. You know what I'm saying? And not take offense to it in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, because we had talked about this in one of the videos we did before with the one with the young brother who was like trying to do something like as far as like his money wasn't right, but they were still going out and everything else. And with a couple, her friend of hers wanted to go out from this point in
Yep.
time, right? I think in that moment, what what I felt like when we talked about this and that, not to uh, recant anything else that we went through before, like we talked about with that podcast. But it's relevant to all the listeners who listen to that one. You kind of go back and listen to that one as well too, and see how we address that. It's just that in that moment, we both agreed that you probably needed your woman to you needed his woman to protect him a little bit more. You feel me? Like this point, like okay, he was probably used to doing this and having it this way. Well, now he ain't got it, right?
Right.
But he's trying to have it, and even though you're stepping in and helping them in some sort of way, there's a bigger way that you can do that to eliminate all that type of stuff, that stress that comes from it. And like you just said, that's just learning how to know yourself, know your partner, and we got to be doing this in this thing together. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to let somebody know that, babe, my act wasn't necessarily, I didn't do it with the intentions of being selfish. I was doing it with the intent that this is something I felt we needed. It was on sale at that time, so I went on and got it. Now I do understand that you probably wanted me to, would not even probably, because language matters. So anybody out there listening, in relationships, language matters. How you say something, when you say it, the language that you say, the tone you say it in matters.
Hmm.
It's like I get the fact, I understand the fact that you want to be included, that I should have included you in that decision,
Right.
and I apologize for that because I should have included you in it. But my intent wasn't to be selfish about that. You feel me? It's a way to handle it, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And without all the other stuff that comes along with it.
And you know, I think as men sometimes we used to just, especially if you've been by yourself for a minute.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you just used to make decisions. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna
yeah,
grab this. I'm gonna do this, this, this,
yeah.
this,
Grab
this,
it.
and
Right.
this.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you got somebody, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you got to slow it down. You know,
yeah.
and
Yep, yep,
and at points you have to trust each other's decision making ability.
yep. Very much so.
You know,
Yeah, yeah. That's true.
and the whole selfishness aspect of things. You know, if we open it up about selfishness and talk about what it is about, because you do have people that are very selfish in a relationship
Hmm.
with their, be it with their time,
Yeah,
their
yep. Their
affection,
money. Yeah, their
their
money.
money.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
so you have to be open to your partner, man, like in ways that you're not open with everybody else.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, but you said the key word to that though, Gerard. Earlier, you said you got to know yourself though. It's not on just knowing your partner. You got to know yourself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I got to know the things, man, that I got insecurities on. You feel me? Like, and I keep it 100, man. Problems that I've had, I know before in my relationships was, when shit wasn't popping like the way I wanted to pop financially. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Oh
damn, man.
yeah.
Like how do I fully articulate that to her in this way? Like, but I'm still trying to make it happen, but damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when shit comes out, she's like, damn, why aren't you just tell me? Why aren't you look? So now she upset about it because, but it's not a, and of course she looks at it as an ego part, and quite sure some of it is ego,
Yeah.
but most of it's not necessarily ego. It's embarrassment, right?
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed that I'm not in the position that I thought I should be in or want to be in at this point in time, and but I'm trying to do this part, and and so you putting some things together, you try and do all this other stuff, like they say, rob Peter to pay Paul or something like this, and it's embarrassing. You feel me at times, so you know, learning how to do that and learning how to explain that over time. You feel me? Like,
Right.
man, some things may come across as being selfish, man, but it's not necessarily based in selfishness. Sometimes some shit is just based in embarrassment. Some of it is pride, some of it is ego, fear, like shit. If I tell you it looks like this, then shit, what you gonna think about me? Because, I'm afraid how you may look at me. Right. So because I ain't looking at myself in this type of way. So it's learning how to articulate those things, man. But you said the key to that shit, man, is the fact you got to know you. You got to know you, bro.
Know your
You got to know
limitations.
you. Yeah, yeah. Know your limitations, and like you said, know your strengths.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Know your strengths. I know the shit that I'm good at in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm good at taking care of household. I'm good at that. I'm a good father. I'm good at that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a good provider for taking care of my woman from this point in time. Everything from this point in time. Sometimes I don't always communicate. I communicate really well. I'm a strong communicator. I'm strong in my emotional intelligence from things. But I gotta, like you said, being single for a while, you got a short fuse on some things sometimes too. Like some shit you ain't about to put up with no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes that's gotten in the way. Like, man, I gotta kind of be a little more understanding
Yeah.
from this point in time. Somebody asked me, well, shit, well, when you coming back? Like, what do you mean when I'm coming back? I'll be back in a minute. You know
Hey,
what I'm
wait.
saying?
Hey, look. You
Well,
give them that
what's a
that Ike
minute?
Turner look. Tina Turner. You like,
Right, right. Like, what the fuck is that? Right? What's the anime?
what time I'm gonna be back? I'm gonna be back when I be back.
Right. Is that right? Exactly right. What we doing that at? You know what I'm saying? So like you're right, man. You gotta ask some you gotta switch some stuff on up because it has the intent that it's being a certain way. But
Yeah.
no, man, it ain't that ain't it. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my shit I'm bringing to the table. So yeah, man. That's how this thing works, bro.
Hey, let me hit you with this one line, the last line of this, and just tell me what you think about it. It says each time we say yes to ourselves, we're saying no to our marriage because marriage is not about him versus her; it's about we versus me.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't agree with that one. Now, whoever wrote it, that's great. Selfishness, yes, I agree. You as a relationship killer, yes, as a whole. But every time you say yes to you, you are not saying no to the person or the relationship, bro. That's not true. That's
Bruh,
not true.
I ain't gonna lie, man, because like when I got my butter pecan ice cream, and it's the last of it. Hell no, you can't have it. I'm saying yes to me.
Right? It's about me, right?
And look,
Right, exactly.
and I
Right, that's
know it's
real
gonna
talk.
mess my stomach up, but I'm still gonna eat
Right,
it.
but still eat it, right? Right. And she's telling you that too. And she's telling you, you're gonna eat that. Then nah, tonight I'm gonna be the one dealing with the shit and everything else. You like,
So
man,
I guess you
shit.
are messing up the marriage.
Right. Right. Maybe we gotta reevaluate that one. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, cause she gonna have to deal with that shit. Right. In more ways than one. For real. In
Literally.
more ways. Literally, right. Your ass stupid. That's what he said, literally. Literally. He's stupid, dog. That's real though. That's real, man. But that's
No,
honest though, man. It's
but see,
honest though,
I think they made this too black and white though. When you say
Yeah, I
yes to
agree.
yourself, because
Yeah.
what even in the marriage, see, I doing videos for marriages. I mean marriages for weddings,
Hmm.
and I used to sit and listen to the words. And then
Mm.
the wing symbolizes this circle, which makes us one. No, we're not one. We're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't. It's a union between two independent people, right? We become dependent and interdependent.
Very much so.
We're dependent
Yep.
upon each other in certain
Yep.
aspects because now we're together, but then we're still
Hmm.
interdependent to where we do
I
things
agree.
on our own. But whatever we do, it has to be for the greater good of the whole or the
Whole.
relationship. You
Right.
don't want to go out and do something that's going to jeopardize the relationship.
Relationship. Right. Very much so.
And I ain't gonna lie, man. I I suck that part, in some relationships
Yeah.
where
Me
I
too.
just step
Yeah.
out
Me
on
too.
my own and hey,
Yep.
I'm gonna do what's best for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep. Yep.
and it messed up some relationships or whatever. And and it's not all about cheating either. So everybody keep thinking
Nah.
every time you mess up, it's about cheating.
I'm
No,
cheating.
nope. I
Yep.
just made decisions that
Yep.
I felt was benefit me the most,
Me.
and it
Yep.
didn't. So
Yeah. 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 In the long term. And yeah,
yeah,
in the long term, it didn't. Right. And so, and now you can look back and like you said, you can look at that and be honest. And it's always about the cheating aspect of everything. And you're
right.
right. So, and I think, women don't understand that. I'm not gonna say women don't understand. I'm gonna say people don't really understand that. Like, everybody's gonna have some things, man. You gotta allow people to be themselves. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? And again, man, like first you gotta know, like you said, first know you, but then know the partner that you got, bro. Know who you got. You feel me? So, if you got with somebody, man, and on Thursdays and Saturday nights, bro, she like to go to bingo, you feel me, or do whatever she gonna go and do, or go hang out with her girls and go have a drink or something like this time. That's been her thing. And then all of a sudden now you come in and be like, well, baby, what you doing on this Thursday nights and now this Saturday? Man, that's unfair, right?
Yeah.
So, now you can have a conversation like, baby, I get that, but there's some times I kind of want us to spend a little time together, right? And let her decide how that looks, how that goes from this point, because you don't want somebody, man, to make adjustments just to be there and something that you wanted, and but you see that it's making them unhappy at the same time.
Hmm.
Then I mean, I don't want that. You feel me? I
Right.
wouldn't want anybody to want that for me this way in time. Like, look, we got all this other time together. If that's important to you, then you're going to do that. And then when you decide, because it's going to shift. Now we old enough to realize that now we've gotten older in relationships. That thing shift. You know what I'm saying? You ain't. Sometimes you get to the point in time like, yeah, why aren't you going out tonight, baby? Oh, I don't even feel like dealing with that tonight. That's such. I want to just be at home. Yeah, man, that thing shift at some point in time.
Yeah.
And you got to allow it to shift and let people grow as they gonna grow, and you grow as that way too. You know what I'm saying? So and then, but you don't make the mistake which I've done in times like, oh shit, since you gonna do that, nigga, I'm gonna go do this. You feel
Oh,
me? Like,
you going to hang with your
yeah,
girls? I'm about to go hang
right,
with the
right.
fellas. You coming in
Well,
at
okay, the
two?
fellas,
I'm gonna come in at
right,
four.
right. I go on phone, right, exactly, right. Trying to outdo, and that's the immaturity. And I've had times I've just
Yeah.
been immature at times. You know what I'm saying? So when you grow up, man, this thing become real simple. You know what I'm saying? Something that's considered selfish. You have a conversation about it. Like I've had just recently in a situation, man, with someone tell me that, and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm that. What I mean, at all. Matter of fact, in that whole situation, I wasn't. But we can talk about it. We could discuss it, and but that thing don't go the way it's supposed to go. Because I'm looking at no. Let me weigh it out. This is how I look at some things on it, and it came down to some friendships, right? Like I'm just going to hang out with my friends over here for a minute, and it's like, okay, well, damn, when are you going to tell me? When are you going to say that? Well, I mean, that was on Saturday. It's Thursday now. I'm telling you now what we're talking about. You feel me? So it's like,
Right.
well, no, I don't feel like that was fair. That's inconsiderate. How is that being inconsiderate? But underneath all that, what that was is it's just that you felt like I was, because we didn't have no plans on that Saturday, right? But
Hmm.
you making it seem like I put somebody ahead of you. Well, that's not my fault. That's not my shit. That's not my stuff because I'm not. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, I'm just gonna do this. I'll be back by this time, and whatever you want to do after that, we can do. That ain't the point. That really is the point, right?
Hmm.
But again, you got to have that conversation. And sometimes the conversation ain't going to always be like, okay, yeah, this and this and this. But you got to set a standard. For me, I had to set the standard and say, well, this is what I'm going to go and do. Right. And this is my timeline. I'm going to be back. I'm telling you what it is right now. And, but I'm not going to allow you or anyone else to stand in the way of what that is. Those things are important to me. You feel me?
Right.
And you gotta have those conversations. And regardless of whatever comes down with the relationship happens. Because I'm telling you, what I used to be, Sherrod, is the guy who would have been like, man, well, fuck it, I ain't gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to deal. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And then, but I would always regret that. You know what I'm saying? And then, but it started to have animosity in my relationships. And I'm like, no, I can't do that any longer. It's okay. This is what I'm going to go do. You can be upset. You can be angry about it, but I'm still going to go and do this. And now, listen, but I'm keeping you posted along the way. Hey, I'm over here. I'll be back in the such and such. Look, man, whatever time that is, I'm back. I ain't talking about hanging out late. I'm back by 7 o'clock. Like, hey, I'm back with,
Right.
did you want to get together, do something? Nah. Okay. Well, I'm a chill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
nah, because I don't need that energy from this point in time. And when you figure it out, we can talk about it. But I ain't about to chase you down for it. I'm about to do that. Them days long gone. Like
Yeah.
my man said, that dude jumped out that window 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's over. You know, and I think that's because you got to have some respect for yourself. So less than selfishness. It's about having some respect for yourself, and you got to, and you no one's going to give you that. Like you have to set that
Yeah.
intentions and that standard from the door. So yeah. All right. So what we at with number 4?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish that last one off with this,
Okay. I
because
apologize. Yeah.
no, 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 because you said something in there. It's about loving people for who they are and not for who you want them to be. We gotta
Wow.
we gotta like you said, we gotta respect ourselves, but at the
Hmm.
same time, we gotta, like you said, we gotta allow people to be themselves.
Hmm.
We
I agree.
have to.
Yeah.
Because
You
how
have
can
to.
you get to know a person in their totality if we don't let them be
Yeah.
who they are?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's real talk, man. And I'll be honest with you, bro. I learned that while in therapy, not even as a therapist from this point. Like like I told you, to me, every therapist should have a therapist, and you're supposed to have a therapist this way.
Hmm.
And I have a really good therapist from this point. Shout out to Stan, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Um, and been going to him for years, man. Older brother, and I needed that. You know what I'm saying? From this point, that older ideology towards some things. You know what I'm saying? From this way. And we was in counseling one time, my partner and I, and he was like, sometimes you just gotta accept people for who they are. And man, she got offended off of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? So I supposed to just accept that he's doing all this shit, doing all... He was like, no, it ain't I'm not saying accept the behavior, but you gotta accept people for who they are. As you get to know them, you learn to accept, like, this is some of the shit this person just who they are, right? And they always ain't gonna be who you think they are. Like they're not gonna check all the boxes. It's not gonna be 100%, shiny new, rainbows and butterflies all the time. I think I'm a solid guy, which I am a solid person. But at the other end, I got some shit too. You
Hmm.
feel me? I got some shit out here, man. I'm working on. I'm trying to get better at as well too. So you got to accept the people for who they are in a lot of ways, right? Like you know who they are. You got to accept them for who they are. Now, I don't mean that you got to put up people bullshit. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who out there and be like, you just saying put up with, I should be putting up with a motherfucker. No, 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 no.
No, no,
Take a
that's not
deep
what we're
breath.
saying.
Woosah this moment for a second. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's not what we saying right here. What we saying is just that you got to know who you got, and you got to be able to accept who you have, but you got to communicate how you feel and how their behavior is affecting you,
Yeah.
right? And the only thing you hoping with that point in time, bro, is that when you articulate that at some point in time that person changes, that behavior change, they understand this point. But that's a hope. You're not gonna force that upon anybody. You're
No.
not, and that goes vice versa for male, female, from whatever that point in time. But like you said, you got to accept them for who they are, and not for who you want them to be.
Right.
That shit is real.
Yes,
It's
sir.
real, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Hey, Phil.
that's that's my take on that.
All right,
Yeah,
Chief.
man, that's real, man.
Number 4,
Okay.
technology. I read a blog post about a guy getting a divorce, except this guy chose to divorce his phone. But it makes sense because so many of us carry this dangerous relationship killer in our back pocket. In the world of technology crazed, iPhone carrying, Facebook posting mania, it's no joke that we find our time slipping away into the inanimate instead of investing it into the intimate. Unplug, disconnect, shut down, and invest in your spouse.
But yeah, I'll say it this way, man. That yeah, but I've always kind of associated that with the fact of like having a business and saying, okay, well, this is this and this is that, and from that point. But I can see how that affects some things. You know, I can definitely see how that affects some things. It's affected some stuff in my life, bro. Very much so.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
well,
much so.
I've always thought, I hear it on the other side you know, where folks believe that if you don't post your significant other, it's like everything is not a show for social media. And,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not to the point, I've never been to the point where my phone or social media has gotten in the way of real life for me. So it's like, that's never been one of my hangups. But I could see if you're with somebody that has to post 30,000 pictures and you know um, want to shove a camera in your face and hey, we're
That
gonna
part,
do
right?
this reality stuff. And, I don't know, man. That's
Yeah,
that's never been one of my draws. But what I have noticed though, going out to different restaurants, you notice people even when they're together, they're like,
yeah, on their phone. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, they're on their phone. Yeah, yeah, I agree
and,
with
and
that.
they're with
Yeah,
each other.
yeah, yeah. I'm like you on that, man. As far as now, I think a couple things I look at that on. Okay, it's one thing about your phone this way. Okay, I can understand when people have that part of it, but there's another thing about like the whole social media dating thing. And I can get what a guy said he divorced his phone from this way in time, but everybody doesn't have the option to do that. Like the way that I work, like if my phone ain't ringing, bro, then I'm not making money. I'm not, this stuff
Yeah,
happens. And so, it's a computer that I have on me this way. Now, and I actually think social media can actually be used. And I will say this, even in my relationship, it's like some stuff that you see that you think is funny or relevant or something like that, and
yeah,
you want to share this with your partner. You know what I'm saying? So that is a form of communication, right? So I think people got to understand that. Like, I may see a video and I'm like, man, this is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna send it to my partner, right? And now they may or may not think it's funny. They think it's funny, but it opens up conversation. It is still a form of communication. Now, when it crosses a barrier, like you just said, when somebody's on your page and saying, "Well, then you don't put no picture of us," or you don't put that you in a relationship and all the rest of this type of stuff. No, man, I'm not. I've never been that dude. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I've never been a dude going to see the point and we gonna wear matching outfits and shit like that. Ain't, you know what I'm saying? That ain't me, man. You know what I'm
bruh,
saying? You
bruh.
know,
Hey, if we ain't playing on the same team, like softball, football, we ain't wearing a uniform.
right. Hey, listen, man. But hey, no shade on anybody out here who does, but that's just not something that I feel like as if is warranted for me in a
Right.
relationship. Like, you see people out here. I mean, I know a couple that had a shirt on and say, this shirt, and they had on theirs, don't make, and they say since if she's not with me, you know what I'm saying, type of stuff. And it completes their sentence. I mean, I guess it's cute. You know what I'm saying? It's all the rest of that. I'm just saying from me, just me speaking from this way in time. Um, man, that's just not how I'm operate. Look, everybody gonna know we together because people know that we together. It ain't never
Right.
been no secret. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no secret. Y'all ain't hiding you or
Yeah.
anything else like that. But there are some things with our generation, I think, and I will say this about our generation, even though a lot of our generations on social media are putting everything in their whole life out on that part this way. That I like some privacy. I really like some privacy in my relationships this way. I don't want to have a conversation with you and then I turn around and it's posted or something like this. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
somebody said all
Yeah.
this and this and this. No, man, it's I think it's a time and place for it. But and I think in today's time, man, look, and we said this before, bro. Like, man, you're gonna have people try to holler at you. period. And if your woman fine, nigga, somebody gonna holler at her. Somebody, I mean, come on, you holler at her. So you feel me? So you're gonna have people come at people. You're gonna have some people come at you this way. And that's just really where you just have to set that standard and just be like, you know what? No, that's not what I'm doing. I appreciate it. I'm flattered by this. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like dot 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 dot. But the end don't mean I gotta act on it. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? I ain't gotta act on that type of stuff, man, because sometimes, man, there's nothing wrong with some flirtation. I don't care what nobody says. I don't think there's nothing wrong with somebody flirting with somebody else from this point in time. I don't think there's anything wrong with flirtation. It's how you flirt, though. You feel me? Now, if you're doing that, it's there's categories of flirtation, right? From this way. Now, if you posting another picture and putting all this stuff on here and sending somebody some shit through your DM, now you wrong both ways. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all wrong in this way from this point. If you're doing that. But it's okay to squash some stuff real quick. I'm flattered by that. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the compliment. But I am in this relationship or I am married from this point in time. And you take care. Right? If it could continue from this point in time, you just learn how to block somebody. That's the beauty of it on the phone or even in social media from this way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I think that could be a relationship killer only if people allow it to go too far.
Yeah, if you don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, you'll know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree with that. Yeah.
Number three, stress.
Right. Stress.
Stress.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would actually put that higher. I mean, I don't know if the other two, so I'm
Let
surprised to
me see.
come with that.
Let me see. Let me look. Let me look.
I don't know.
Um,
The other two, the first two are worthy. All right.
yeah, they
Okay.
probably they probably can go in either order, one through three.
Okay. Okay. All right. Great. Great. Great.
Now,
Yeah, but I would say
stress.
that like you just said. Go ahead. I cut you off, bro.
Oh, no, no. I'm just gonna read what they said. It says stress is easy to take our. It's easy to take our stress out on our spouse.
Yeah.
We can get into the habit of holding things in until we're in the safety and comfort of our marriage, and then we explode. From financial problems to illness, job loss, and grief, healthy couples allow their stress to pull them together by relying on each other, sharing it with one another, and carrying the load together.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, okay. I see what they're saying. And
Okay. Well, how did you take it?
how?
How did you take that as what they were saying?
I mean, the first part of it is, that classic. Okay, classic. Good time. James had lost his job. God damn it, Floyd, I done lost a damn job again. And she like, James, he's slamming doors, boom, boom, boom. And she like, oh, James,
Right.
So he done lost the job down at the car wash and shit. Okay. So 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 he coming home, he taking that out, that frustration, that stress out on the family, yelling at JJ dumbass, Michael the
Right, right.
militant midget, and Thelma. So he's taking what happened outside of the family that
Mhm.
happened to him, and he's bringing it home, and he's just dumping it all on them in an unhealthy manner.
Yeah. Okay. Facts.
Now, on the other side of it, y'all can take that. Like he said, when you're a healthy couple, y'all can take that situation and sit down and communicate with one another. We can tackle this together, because usually when somebody, you see, I think with a lot of men, they think that, hey man, once I lose my means to do X, Y, and Z, I'm no longer a man
Yeah.
anymore. My
Yeah.
manhood
Facts.
is
That's
being
true.
tested. Bruh, it's just a fact of life that's you're gonna lose a job. You might have to take a pay cut, and
Hmm.
you don't control the economy.
Right. Right.
Only thing
Yeah.
you can control is you're going into work every day. You're doing the best that you can. You could be the best employee, and they can still come through and say, hey, you know what? You got some cuts got to make, and you out of here.
Yeah. Facts.
So
That's true.
I think too many men have placed their manhood on their wallet. Now,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when you got a healthy relationship, your woman is going to say, don't worry about it. I got you. Because you as a man, you ain't going to go in no shell and be like sitting on the couch, you know, months on end crying about my job. No,
Yeah,
she gonna tell you, I got you. I can hold us down until you get back on your feet. What is it you need to do? Do you gotta
yeah.
reinvent yourself? Do you gotta go take some class? What and
Mm.
when y'all got
Yeah,
that
what
kind
you
of
doing?
relationship, y'all gonna decide together how we gonna move. And that
Yeah.
takes I believe that takes the stress away.
Oh yeah, yeah. I agree. And I think most relationships. Okay, I'm gonna be biased here. All right, so everybody, the viewers, just bear with me on this part, particularly when it comes down to African American relationships. I'll be specific in this way. A lot of times, and the reason why I say African American, and I'm not, this doesn't take anything away. So I give a general statement. So let me say it this way. Yeah, most stress in relationships come from financial issues, right?
Yep.
But I say it from a race perspective because African Americans, we are always at the bottom of the totem pole, right? As far as you look at the economy, you look at poverty from its way in time. That's usually where that comes from, right? And so having these relationships in this way, and you have these ideologies, and you live in a capitalistic society that tells you that you're supposed to have this, this, and this, and this in order to define yourself as being successful, then you got to have this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? This man got to make a high six figures, and if he get seven figures, and da 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 da. And me and my friend was actually just talking about this earlier, and it was just like, you know, you you understand that, right? Like people get that part and they get it twisted. So then it creates this stress on the relationship. Well, dang, like, man, Susan them. So well, I'm gonna add 4 and 3 into this same, point. Every time I look up, they going to Dubai, they going to Tulum, and they in Dubai, and now they in Mexico, and we don't never do nothing. You see what I'm saying? Now you don't know what they doing to get that. You see what I'm
Because they
saying?
might be in
You don't know
Dubai
what
getting shitted on, you know?
they may be, right, and they may be in debt, a lot of fucking debt. You see what I'm saying? To do all
Right.
these things. You see what I'm saying? So, but you don't know, and the reality
Nope.
is they could not be, right. They could just be, hey, this is what they planned on out, and they did this things from this point in time. And so, like you just said, having these conversations about stress this way, because stress goes both ways. It just ain't the man that comes in from this way in time. Because, like Chris Rock said years ago, every woman, all you do as a man, every woman has somebody at their job that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? So when they come in the door, it's always that bitch, such and such, and she did this
Hmm.
today, and da 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 da, and my boss is this, and you just say, okay, baby, yeah, dang, what she did, what? Like, yeah, you said that to her. Yeah, I told her she got one more time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you like, all right, baby, don't go fuck around and lose that job. I don't need that job anyway. Like, okay, we'll go back to 5 about selfishness. Like, hold up now, baby. Now
Right.
we's need that job. You know what I'm saying? From this point. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you know what I'm saying? But no, man. But I mean, stress, man. But the serious part of it, man. Yeah, stress. Like I said, I would almost put it just as high because first and foremost, man, we both value health, and stress is a killer, particularly
Silent killer.
in the Black community, right? Particularly in the Black community because
Yeah.
we deal with so much of it, and then when you deal with so much of it, you think that if it ain't rough, it ain't right. And sometimes, man, we don't always want to fight for every fucking thing. You get to the point in time you want easy, right? And then you creating all this stress on stuff like, oh, I got to have this, and the kids got to do this, and I got to live here, and I got to have this type of car, and I got to do this, and da 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 da. And you're creating some self-inflicted stuff. And now I'm gonna get on my high horse here in a relationship killer from this point because stress then lies to comes to so many other illnesses, right? Which is hard on a relationship, right?
Hmm.
Because when you get stressed, now you got, let's say, you got diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, which that all comes out of stress from this way in time, right? And now that's going to affect your sex life as well too. Like that's what people don't realize. You want to talk all the rest of this stuff, but everybody out here talking about, yeah, nigga, I'm out here, I'm killing them, I'm doing this. Well, if you got high blood pressure, the one thing we know for sure in the medical field, the people ain't saying it out loud. You got high blood pressure, brother. That's affecting
Yo, yang
your sex
yang.
levels. Yes. It's affecting it, right? So you know what I'm saying. So as much as you trying to say that I don't affect things in my way, yeah, man, it's blood flow. It's what it's ultimately about. But it comes from stress, right? So now you got to learn how do I learn how to release stress, and now how do we do it in a relationship wise, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't be over here and say, hey, babe, I know how to like. Okay, you work out. You take you. We talked about this before. We work out. Well, okay, baby, you don't always got to go. Maybe you don't have to go to the gym with me, but maybe we go for a walk. Maybe we go do some Zumba class, what you doing this way, or go to yoga or whatever you got from this point. Oh, you got to sit there and you got to do something, and vice versa. Or
Mm-hmm.
you see that man is just coming in this way, he's on this method. And usually that's what it is. Most black men, we have uh, all these issues that come from an illness that ultimately stems from stress, right? That really stems from stress. We're trying to do all these right things. It's hard as hell out here. Um, and you're trying to do all these things and keep all these plates spinning in the air, and the shit is stressful. No,
Yep.
although you make it look easy, no, your body is saying something different, right? So yeah, that's gonna affect the relationship. But you gotta know how to be like, how do I take this time to sit? So all these plates I probably don't need to spin.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Some of this shit I just need to just drop, let drop. But I'm holding some stuff up because I'm worried about how people are gonna look, see me, or view me, or look at me. You
Key
know?
words
So
you
yeah,
said:
stress is a motherfucker, man.
self-inflicted, self-induced stress,
Yeah,
right?
yep,
And I think
yep.
that, when I hear men say, "You're not a man if you're not doing it 100%, providing for everything in the household," I'm like, "No, you feel like you're not a man if you're not
Yeah,
providing 100%,"
yeah,
because
for sure.
I look at, man, a few years ago, man, I took a look at older couples, right? And I look at the condition of the men. I'm like,
Mm,
wow, he's broken down.
yep,
He's barely
yep.
walking. You know, he looks way older than her,
To her.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not gonna beat me, because I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, man. I'm never gonna work myself to the point where I'm working two jobs to keep a person. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm working ungodly hours just to keep somebody in a nice car, a nice house. Yo, shorty, guess what? It's this thing called building together that we
That's
need
right.
to do. You know, I can't build shit if you're siphoning the money out this end. It's coming in
Mm-hmm.
this way, but you're siphoning it out because, like you said, you want to go to Dubai, you want to go to Africa, you want to go to Europe, you want to always travel and do these things. But guess what, shorty? I got to work and make money to do these things. And
That's
then
right.
I got to take time off to go on these trips with you. And
Mm-hmm.
nah, what we going to do is we going to work together.
That's
And
right.
that's my advice. That's my advice for all
That's
men
my.
out there, man. Stop trying to be
That's
fucking
my.
Superman out here, because
Yep.
nobody's bulletproof when it comes to this economy out here. Nobody's
That's right.
bulletproof when it comes to when that stress is kicking your ass. That shit'll kill you, man.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
literally, literally.
literally, and then
Yeah.
especially with us men, black, white, or whoever the fuck it is, yo, we don't like to talk about it, so we bottle that shit up, you
Yep.
know.
That part.
And
Speak,
it's like
bro.
and it's
Speak,
like,
bro.
no, man, you got to be able to let it go. So, hey, man, I learned to hit that gym, hit that
Yep.
that heavy bag. I've
Yep.
been, it's like, you know what? And
Yeah.
besides those two, man, the yoga joint has been smooth. And that's my
Mm-hmm.
advice to men out there, bro. Get into the yoga shit, man. I don't give a fuck if you not flexible at all, man. Shit,
Yep.
it's
That's right.
cool.
Yep.
Learn how to
Yep.
breathe. Learn how to let go a lot of that outside bullshit. And
Yep.
that's what I learned. I had to learn how to really do that, man, because my marriage was the divorce was stressful, bro. It
Yep.
it
Yeah.
it took me. I think that tested my patience more than anything in the world.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I said, man, like I said, I started reading books. I started learning how to breathe, do breathing exercises, got back into work. it was like, man, I gotta be able to release this stuff. And that's what men need to
Yep.
do, man. Whatever, when you stressed out, man, said, lift some weights, run, do something that's gonna let that energy, that bullshit come out of you.
Yep. Very much
You know what I mean?
so. Yeah, bro. You hit that. You hit that on the head, bro. Like that's it. Like say, stress, man, is a bad motherfucker, man. But we not because it creates so many other issues. And it all stems from stress. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna add another one to that. For like say, and also sex. Sex is a good stress reliever. So you gotta have you somebody along the way where, like women, anybody listening to this, like, oh, of course a man gonna say that. But no, look at the research. You know what I'm saying? Having an orgasm helps out, releases your stress levels in so many ways. It releases dopamine, right? You got norepinephrine that's from brain chemical with neurotransmitters that's being released from this point in time. So you got to find whatever those stress relievers are in addition to that. But like you said, you got to have healthy places to put it in
Yeah.
this way. You got to find healthy ways to put them. And like you said, man, I'm a huge proponent of, like you said, I work out. You know, I like to go for my walk or my run. And man, ever since COVID, bro, yoga has been that. Man, being a yogi, bro, like you said, I ain't the most flexible person. But I tell you what, man, but I've grown and watched my body do some stuff through breathing and meditation and being on that mat. And you can leave some of that shit on that mat, but then you learn how to take some of those principles, man, and apply them in your life. Like everything ain't always has to be a priority.
Right. Right.
Everything ain't
Right.
always got to be so damn a
Everything can't
priority
be
all the time.
urgent. Everything is not
Or
urgent.
that part. Yeah, everything ain't always urgent. And you learn to be like, yeah, okay. Well, that's all. You ain't gonna go and do that. Nah,
No.
nope. It'll be okay. And I had to learn that, like you said, through my divorce. I had to learn that also, man. Learning how to with my children as far as co-parenting from this way in time. Some things like, hey, this is what I can do, and here's my times of being available. And it's like, oh, well, you're gonna be available around this time. No, no, I got some stuff I need to do around that time. You know what I'm saying? But during these times, these are the days that I'm available, and this what we agreed to, and I could take them on these days as well too. But in this moment, this is my time, and you have to know, particularly for us as men, we have to learn how to we got to learn how to say that. You know what I'm
Sometimes you got
saying?
to be selfish.
That part. Go back to that. Yes,
You
yeah.
know.
You guys learn how to choose, and I'm gonna say it's selfish. You gotta learn just how to choose you from because people say here selfish from a negative connotation, and it's not negative from this point in time. It's just me choosing me. Like, no, these things matter to me. These days, this is what I do. Like my schedule, man. I put it on up, man. Tuesday and Thursdays, I go to yoga. My Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm in the gym, do everything else. But I do my cardio every day. Like I may go for a walk or a run, get whatever in from this point in time. I'm gonna get but I'm gonna be out in nature. But if somebody come and try to um, interrupt that, no, bro. I've learned that this works for me.
This is what
Now,
keeps me
yeah,
healthy.
this what keeps me healthy. And we're not talking about a long time from this point in time. This is me in the gym for an hour, maybe hour and a half. From this point in
Yeah.
time, I'm on my mat for an hour. If you can't work around that time, and it's got to be forced for you to put it into my time this way, nah, we're not doing that. Because I'll be free after I get off that mat. I'll be free
Right.
after I get out the gym. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, getting out in nature, bro. Like especially now since the weather is changing. Hopefully, it's changing. That man, you got to learn how to have those things. And I remember I was starting a program before, and came with this thing for guys, man. Like, man, walk with your women Wednesday, walk with your woman Wednesdays, or something like that. Man, you'll be surprised, man. Just being out in nature and going for a walk with your woman, man. Some of the conversations y'all have, and you know what I'm
Because you're
saying.
forced to
And
talk.
yeah, yeah, yep,
You're forced.
yep,
You're forced to kick it. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
like
yeah,
you relax and you're walking and you're making the time
yeah,
go, and
yeah.
and you know what? I'm gonna go back to something you said. I found some. You know, ladies,
Mhm.
understand this. Sex acts as a natural stress reliever by lowering cortisol and adrenaline, stress hormones, while boosting endorphins and oxytocin, which promotes relaxation, happiness, and emotional closeness. It reduces blood pressure, improves sleep, and can ease
Yep.
anxiety acting as a physical release of tension.
Yep. Yep.
So, and they said an orgasm is not needed. It's not. It's
That's
just the
right.
simple
Not
fact
ain't
it's
there.
something
Yeah.
physical. Yeah, it's physical.
It
You
doesn't
need something
physical.
physical.
It's the physical touch. It's the
Yeah.
intimacy. Like we talked about before. That's a part of exactly what we're talking about with intimacy, right?
Yeah.
That intimacy is extremely important, man. Like it's just sometimes it's just a touch, man. You know what I'm saying? And that goes both ways for
Yeah.
both parties. You know what I'm saying? As a man, ain't just because of course people want to say that, but also she needs that as well too. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't the only one stressing. She's stressing over things too.
Right.
Learn how to take a deep breath. Yeah. So yeah, man, because shit, getting sick is you talking about a relationship killer. Get sick,
Bro.
that illness.
You know, taking care of my mom. Man, and it's just now that's my mom, and I'm taking care of
Hmm.
her, trying to rip and run, trying to still, live.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
trying to make sure she okay and this and that and the other. Now just imagine you got that person living with you day in, day
Right.
out. You gotta
Yeah.
get them up. You gotta wash them up. You know, I understand that medical issues will arise as you
Right.
age, but if you can prevent things, prevent them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
that's
That's
like
right.
that's like you
That's right.
said. Let's start eating right. Let's start exercising. Let's start. We sometimes we just got to take a mental break from the world.
From the world. That part, bro. Yeah. That part, man. Well, y'all just got to take a day where it's just y'all. Like I'll say it this way. I remember like my boy, his parents, man, taught me a lot, still teach me a lot. He lived out on the street from me, man. And his mom has always been like a spiritual mentor in my life. And his dad has always just been that same thing for me, right? And I mean, and now this is in addition to my parents. My parents would do some of the same things because you would see it, but they would just get away, bro. Like he was like, man, it was times, man, he was like, man, sometimes, man, we don't go far. So, man, sometimes we just go to get us a room, man, for the weekend on Friday and Saturday and come back maybe on Sunday down by the airport or shoot to Ann Arbor or, what I'm saying, or anything else. But that was their getaway. So you don't need all that stuff, man. What people don't realize, you don't need Dubai, you don't need Tulum. You got places that you can have short little trips on that
Yeah.
don't cost you a bunch of money, right? But it's just you and your partner just getting away and spending time with each other where, man, y'all may not even get out to bed that day. Y'all just like, no, we're gonna order some room service or we're gonna run out and get us a pizza or do whatever, but we're gonna lay here. You feel me? And have our moment in time.
Take
And most of the
these.
time you take them exactly. Turn that boy off. Listen, you know what I'm saying? The kids want to get in contact with this, but the rest of that stuff, we ain't answering none of that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's simplicity. And you can make those things work out of your relationship. And those things, man, will save you for a lot of stress and build your relationship because it's simple things. It's just some simplicity, bro. You ain't got to do all the rest of that type of stuff, man. The
We
beautiful part of
complicate
being here
shit.
in Michigan, get to some water. You feel me? Get to some water, bro. Just chill out for a second. You know what I mean? Sit down and talk to your woman, man, and talk and release some stuff. Let her talk to you about some things that y'all going through from this point in time. And that shit'll come back and you'll feel like you've been on a vacation, bro, to someplace else. You feel me?
And
And
you might have just created a tighter bond as you're doing that too.
yeah, yep,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Because think about it. Think about times when you've gone someplace with somebody, right? Like I may shoot to Chicago with my girl or something like this. But the drive, bro, the conversation on the drive is
I was getting
amazing.
ready to
You
say
see what I'm
that. Go
saying?
ahead. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like just the drive and the conversation we have, and you know what I'm saying? We get to understand, we bonding from that point. And this may be 10, 12, 20 years into your marriage or relationship, whatever from this point in time. You're still learning. My dad taught me that. He because my dad remarried and him and his wife was married for 20 plus years. He was like, man, after all these years knowing her, man, he was like, and I'm still learning stuff about her. There's things
Hmm.
because some things you're gonna still learn about people because there's some things that maybe I wasn't comfortable enough to say. It wasn't that you hiding something from somebody. It's the fact that some stuff that I really probably wasn't even comfortable enough telling you about this, or we start talking about this story, but this story became this, and you know what I'm saying. So you learn, man, and that's a beautiful place to get to, bro.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful place to get to, man. So yeah. So relieve that stress, man. That shit'll kill, bro. Illness, man. You get sick. Man, nobody want to be
That's
there,
more
and it's
stress.
expensive.
Number two,
Yes.
lack
Number
of
two.
communication.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. Well, we talked about that. We kind of hit that a little bit,
yeah,
a lot for real. Like so you got to communicate, but you got to communicate with the intent, with the intentions of clarity, like you said, and understanding. You could talk about everything from the moon and back, bro. But if it doesn't affect change in a relationship, then what we doing, right? Like, I mean, really, because when we think about it, when somebody go in there and you say, "Damn, baby, you ain't cooked nothing, you ain't take this out," let's say, we ain't communicating on this. Well, y'all have a communication on that. You feel me? Like, all right, well, I mean, no, I ain't cooked nothing, but what was I supposed to cook? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, because my mama used to cook all the time and what, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
right.
wait a minute now, y'all didn't communicate that. And so, all right, let's communicate how we gonna do this then, because I may not be cooking every night, but she like, I ain't cooking every night. I may cook this, this, and this. So what you gonna bring with understanding. So once you have it and y'all talk about it, then what you expecting is the behavior to change.
Yeah,
That's really what you hoping, that we gonna talk about it. If my woman tell me something, hey, baby, I don't like when sometimes you don't tell me, you don't talk to me about when you coming home about this, or you was running late at work or something like this. Like, I appreciate a call from that point in time. Just let me know that hey, well, I'm at work, or I'm on my way home, and you know what? Okay. So now when she articulates that, what she's saying is just that, call,
yeah,
communicate it. You know what I'm saying? And so now you got to take on that behavior. Like, all right, well, that ain't something I'm used to doing all the time, but now that's important to her, so I need to do it. That's it, man.
that's
This
called
shit ain't rocket
submission.
science, bro.
It's called submission from the man's point of view. Hey, your woman wanted
I like that.
something. Hey, you know what? It ain't gonna kill me to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, dig this part. It says it's true that the average couple invests in quality conversation only a few minutes a day.
Wow.
It's easy to let life get busy and stop connecting with the one you love, but there's no such thing as living in neutral because drifting happens the moment we stop moving forward. Take the time to connect and communicate with your spouse often. And folks don't understand when you it don't have to be deep conversations all the damn time.
Nah, right. No, you ain't have right, right, right. We ain't
It's
talking about
it's
motherfucker.
like
Right, right.
oh, I got to come with some romantic shit to say to you. And it's like, no, it's just like, yeah, we can talk about some
Right,
dumbass shit. You're like, man, you see that three-legged dog walking backwards down the street with
right,
the tail on the front of his
right.
head? It's
Right.
like,
Like, yeah. She like, what? I thought I was the only one who saw that damn dog that way. You like, yeah, you see that shit? Like, that's some crazy. Who that dog belong to? I don't know that dog. I think that's what's the people moving down the street, dog.
yeah, man, it
Yeah,
belonged
man.
to that
Yeah.
cockeyed dude that lived with the corner,
Right.
man.
Right. That makes sense. He would have a three-legged dog.
And it's just communication, man.
Yeah.
It's like open communication. It don't have to be that deep. It's not that difficult. It's like,
Yeah, it's
look,
not.
hey,
Yeah.
I like to talk about any and everything. It may not be
Yeah.
something that I'm automatically just interested in, but then you
Yeah.
might get to talking. I'll be like, whoa, hold on, wait, because even if it's something that I may not like, but you want to
Hmm.
talk about it, I'm going to engage you in that conversation to let you know that I'm in the conversation with you. Because
Right.
guess what?
Right.
I'm gonna become interested in it because I don't want you to feel like you're just talking to the wall.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
I'm going to
Very much
engage
so.
you in that conversation. I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you questions, and I'm gonna respond,
Yeah.
and we gonna keep it going. And
Yeah.
who knows where the conversation leads? But it's a conversation that you wanted to have. I'm going to show you that I'm listening,
Yeah.
actively listening,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
excuse me, and we gonna go from there. But I believe that communication should not be one of them things where you don't talk to one another throughout the day. It ain't got to be long, two,
Yeah.
3 hour
Yeah.
conversation. Hey, babe, how you doing? Just whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
You know, I think we let too much other shit take our time away from our
Mhm.
person.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, I think like you say, man, I think from that point with communication, we definitely let that one. We definitely discussed that one from this way. But I agree with that. I mean, it doesn't have to be all that. And there's also nonverbal communication that takes place as well too. Most stuff is nonverbal, right? Like how you move and how you act and how a person's going. You're always communicating. You're always communicating. Your body language is saying a certain thing, right? So you're always having these communication ways, and then being able to just now, I'll pat myself on the back on this one, bro. Like I think I've always been really good at that. I
Okay.
think I've always been really good at that. And it looks like you've been the same way too. Like you've been really good at that as well too, and had to learn a lot more from it. But then also just knowing how to just because I mean I want to be engaged with my partner. Like I want to know her,
Right.
and I want her to know me. Like I want her to know like there's some things, man, like I want to get better at. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's some things I
Yeah.
really want to, I want to do and I want to share that with her. I want to keep that to myself. It's like, like, man, I want to be able to do this a little bit more. Like this year is one of the big things for me. Like, man, I'm looking forward to growing a garden, right?
Hey,
I've
you
grown
know
a
what?
garden before.
That's funny,
Yeah.
cause Will was like, we was talking about growth during that, the last joint we did together, and Will was talking about growth. This is the year of growth, and you want to
Yeah.
grow a garden.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's that part, man. You gotta learn how to live off the land. Now, I've done it before, and then last time I grew some stuff. I tried to grow some stuff last year, and nothing really came up, so I was kind of pissed at that.
Man, my
But
thumbs
then when
are
I start,
brown, bruh.
bro, that makes that. So here's the thing. But when I started talking to people who do it, it was like, okay, like man, sometime, bro, I'll be honest, that just happens. But I was taking it, that whole competitive thing. I got to get out of my head on that, right? It's like, okay, well, you know what? And my man was like, really, what it is, bro? It's the soil. So he was like, man, come over here. I hooked up with Oakland Farms over there on North End. And my man was like, shout out to Oakland Farms too, man, and also to all the urban farmers around, man, because you got people doing some dope stuff. Which would be dope. Just my little sidebar. And when it comes down to growth and communication, is that I wish DPS man would ultimately teach that more in school because people getting out here and killing
Agriculture.
it, and it's like, man, like I would have probably not dropped out of high school, or somebody like I probably would not have dropped out of high school if I would have had this. Like, I didn't realize I was good at it or enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, so exposing people to that, and shout out to them, man, because I learned a lot, and they gave me some kale last year, and so instead of me growing it outside, my man showed me how to grow it like in a Home Depot bucket, bro. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I was proud of myself off of that. You know what I'm saying? So and you can grow stuff in anything. So my point is that's similar to us as well too, right? Growth comes from like how we pay attention to how a plant may grow. We got to pay attention how our relationship grows
It's
and
the
how somebody,
soil.
yeah, yeah, it's the soil, right? So
It's the
put it in the
soil.
soil. Make sure it's good soil, right? That's our foundation. What's been instilled in us from our parents and people around us, and those things. And man, go after it. Talk. There ain't nothing wrong. Talking don't cost you shit. It
You
don't
know what?
cost you nothing, bro.
It just costs you a little attention because you got to pay attention, right?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it's one of those things, man. I think that if you're not able to sit and communicate with your partner, why is that your partner?
Boom.
You know, and like you said,
Valid.
we don't. Even if we're in the same room, we may not verbally say things to each other, but you communicate through other cues. You snug, you cuddle, y'all snuggle up with one another, whatever.
Mhm.
You get closer, or it's cool where y'all can just watch TV and there's no thing said. You can just rub her leg or grab her
Mhm.
hand or something like
Yep.
that. I'm
Yep.
communicating with you, but
I'm
we watching
communicating.
TV. But
Yep.
I'm letting you know that you're still on my mind though.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
much so. Yep.
And young guys
That's
out
right.
there, man, it's not bad talking to your woman. It's not
It's not.
bad
Mm.
showing her, you know, affection.
Yeah. That's
You know,
true. That's very
you know
much
what I'm
so.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. And vice versa, man. You gotta. you got to get out what you want to expect, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times that comes from in communication. You also teach people how to love you because as you learning about you, then you can articulate some things about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and and that person can kind of reciprocate that, and vice versa. When you talk to your woman, you see some stuff like we all dealing with some childhood shit, bro. You see what I'm saying? That you could trace Freud was right about that, man. You trace a lot of stuff back to childhood and some of these insecurities that we have, and just because we're older now, we now people finally learning how to kind of direct that stuff and kind of talk some stuff and be like, I've been holding on to this shit for a long ass time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so then now that gives your partner understanding to see like, well, damn, that's why you kind of act like this way, and that's why you do some of these things. I'm like, yeah, that might be. You know what I'm saying? That might be. I got to think about that a little bit more, but that probably make a little bit sense from that point.
Right.
So, but you figuring out along with your partner, or you can watch something like you said on TV, and it can be funny, and y'all laughing about something else, and that becomes y'all inside joke. Those are the cool little parts, you know what I'm saying? And you go
Yeah.
somewhere and somebody be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? What you want? You know what I'm saying? You want what you want these? You want some grapes? And y'all got a whole thing about something with some grapes or
Yep.
some shit that came off of
Yep.
some comedian. You know what I'm saying? And it's an inside joke, right? And so that's growth, man. And that just helps out. Just be like you said the key part. Just be present. Be present, man.
Yeah.
Your presence, bro, will take you a long way. And I think those some things I've learned in my Buddhist principles as well, too. It's like, listen, like listen with intent, with intentions, right? Of just intentions of just listen, no judgment, just active listening. Like your presence, you're fully giving this person your entire attention.
Undivided
Like you
attention, as
said,
they your teacher
undivided
say.
attention. Turn that
Give you.
phone off.
Yep.
And you got me. What's up? You know, you sure you want to hear this? Yeah, I kind of want to hear it. What's going on? I mean, it ain't nothing. No, it's better than that. What
It's
is
it's
it?
something because
It's
you
something.
want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yep. Very much so. You want to talk about it. So then there you have it. So now, and it leads to some dope conversations, man. So I've always enjoyed those things. I always enjoyed that.
All right,
All right.
man.
So we got
Drum
we got to do a
roll.
drum roll.
Number one, bruh. Relationship killer. Take a guess.
Sex.
Nope. Family.
Mm. Ooh, family at number one.
Yep.
Let me see if
Yep.
out of the top three, if I would have put family as number one, would I have put family as number one? I don't know, but I get it. So
I'm gonna
yes,
read it off. I'm gonna read it off,
yeah,
and
okay,
I'm gonna
okay,
let
read
you.
to me.
I'm,
Okay.
the number one relationship stress for most couples has little to do with their relationship and much to do with the relationships they are surrounded by. The role of your
Hmm.
parents, in laws, siblings, and friends all shift the moment you say, I do. Because when you join together as one, you've chosen to put your spouse above all others. Too many marriages are struggling simply due to a lack of priorities, finding themselves pulled by everyone else in every which way except toward each other. Healthy marriages learn to choose one another above all others. I mean, that they say that in the Bible.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's biblical, right? That's
Yeah.
biblical. Yeah, that's biblical. But you know what, man? I said number one from this point in time, and if I'm being honest, in my marriage, yeah, like that was an issue. But it came from like her family from this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, learning that I think that was a part from her. I think that like yeah, her family was always in our to me in our marriage from this point in time, and that did become a problem at some point. That did, from this point. But I think that's what I think early on in relationships you're gonna have that. I think in any relationship from this point because particularly as parents, they come in, they don't care who you are. You're never gonna quite. Sometimes some parents are like, this person's never quite good enough for my kid, right? So
Right.
we have these biases, that are this child deserves, every woman thinks that black woman thinks that the man that should come should be Barack Obama or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is just that. when you listen to Michelle Obama talk about, Barack Obama is not Barack Obama in the way that you make Barack Obama out to be, right?
Right.
He's
Because
a
they was going to
man.
get a divorce
He's a
at one
man.
point.
Right. Exactly. Right. Right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like right. So um all relationships come with their shit,
Yeah.
right? And so you gotta learn how to tell people to get out of the shit. And it's usually, so let me say it this way. It's not for me to tell her family that. And it's not for me to tell her that, right? What she has to realize is just that. Let's go back to number three. If this in my family situation is causing stress to my mate or to my partner and to my husband, then whoever is causing that, even if it is my mama or my daddy, I got to go have a conversation with them and say, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in y'all shit, you know, and me and this man, is everything else. Y'all may not like what certain things are, and I get that. But allow me and trust in what you've instilled in me to raise me, that I'm not about to bring somebody to the table who is not solid. I've seen it, right? I've seen what a good father looks like. I've seen what a good husband looks like with your own father, or you've seen what it didn't look like from this point in time.
Right.
So you
Right.
gotta, now you can give them advice, but you should, as a parent, I'm gonna give my kids certain advice from this point in time.
Hmm.
And if you want to talk to me about certain things, I'm gonna talk to you about it. But that's up to you. In that relationship, you got to learn how to manage that relationship, man. You feel me? On your own merit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. As family is very important. Now I don't know if it's number one, but in this for this take of it, yeah, we'll put at number one from this point in time because it is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Learning how to get people out of your shit. But you also got to grow and realize like there are some things that you can't always take to everybody.
Oh
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
some
Yeah.
things, you keep it within yourself because you two might fight for a minute, and y'all gonna become cool. You'll say, okay, boom, we're done with that issue. But your family, friends, and everybody else you done told that shit to, they're
Yeah.
not forgiving of it. They're not gonna let it
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
he called me this or she called me that or whatever.
Hmm.
Oh, for real? Straight up and fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
y'all done got together, kissed, made up, and the whole 9 yards up. Next thing you
Yeah.
know,
And
they
they,
still mad at him and her. Be like, oh,
yep.
hold on, I
It's
don't
true.
want y'all mad no more. Well, y'all got to learn to keep what my thing has always been. Your business ain't show business. Keep your business private.
I like that's true. Yeah. Yeah. My mom used to always be about that. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to always say that type of stuff. But you know what? There's a and for anybody out there, I ain't promoting anything, but it was good. So what's her name? Samore, the comedian, right?
Oh, some
So
more.
she just
Oh
has,
yeah,
yeah. So she just has a new Netflix special out, but it's a lot of stuff. It's some grown woman conversation out of that shit, where it's the part where towards the end she talks about this, and not to give it away, but she talks about her friend, and her husband dies, and then she found out a lot of shit on the side afterwards, like he had a baby, he had a family over here doing all the rest of this type of shit, and she was like she was planning all this shit to have him a really nice getaway. I mean, little not getaway, but funeral, and then it
well, that's,
became
that's a
something else,
getaway.
right? Right, is it right? Right, right. That is a getaway, right? Right. And it became something else, right? From all the rest of this
Okay.
type of shit. But the point to it is I like what she said from a grown woman thing, where as a friend, she's like, yeah, girl, this and this and this. Yep, you're right. He did this. He did that. He had all this shit going on. But think about it. But he kept all that shit away from you though. You didn't know about any of that shit. And he made sure that nobody come to your house and bring that shit on up. He kept that shit out where it was supposed to be at. And she's like, you can say whatever you want to say about him, but one thing I know about him, he loved you, and he took good care of you. He gave you a good ass life. He did all the rest of this type. And sometimes you need those. My point is, you need those people in your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes although yeah, I get it. You upset and you have a right to be. But before you go down that aisle, go down that way with it, let's point out some things that the nigga got right.
Yeah.
That the brother got right. The brother got this right. And and so as much as he did these things wrong, there were some things he got right. And sometimes you need those people in your life to, matter of fact, not even probably, you need those type of people in your life who are going to tell you that. So from that point, yeah. So yeah, yeah, I agree with that part with family. I like that.
Yeah, because
I like that.
family, man, family can get in the way, especially if you're dealing with a woman that, or man or a woman that have children outside of you.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
so often you hear men and women say, "Oh man, my children always come first, and this and that and the other." Like, whoa, 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 whoa. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying. But when you enter into this relationship with an individual and this person is this the one that has your back 24/7, that's helping you with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
you got to look at them different because your kids are probably not the ones helping you pay your bills. Your kids are probably
Right.
not the one that's when you're sick, they're probably not the one that's ripping and running to
Right.
CVS, Walgreens, and all these other places trying to get you right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to prioritize people correctly.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
like
not and
that.
I'm not
I
saying
like that.
don't see. I think we have too much competition in our society, right? Who eats first, the man or the children, right?
Right.
And then it's like, no, 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 no. It's all about necessity. If your need is greater than my want, then your need takes
Mm-hmm.
precedence, right?
That's true.
If
Valid.
if we
Valid.
both want a
Valid.
thing, hey, okay, maybe this time I say, baby, go ahead. No, no, we're spending money on what you want to do this time. Then maybe next time or whatever. We
Mm-hmm.
always have to that. See, compromise is a million
Yeah.
dollar
That's
word, man.
yeah. I'm about to say go back to what you said. Yeah. That's compromise. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to learn how to compromise. We have to learn how to prioritize things, and it's okay to say no to family.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we coming through. Nah, this is me and my baby's day. We gonna chill. We don't want to be bothered by nobody. I mean, don't
Yeah.
take it the wrong way. It's just, hey, we just
Yeah.
decompressing together. You know,
That part.
and
Exactly.
and and,
Yeah.
and
Very
I
much
and
so.
I and I think that if we just got back to prioritizing one another, loving one another, we don't have to shut nobody out.
That's true.
We don't have to shut anybody out, but it does come a time where you have to, you know, take a break from people for a while.
I
You
agree.
got you
I agree.
because I ain't gonna lie, man. I've not always been right in a relationship, because
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
get
Who has?
hey,
Who
hey,
has?
I get that, I can get an attitude and stuff. Be like, nah, man, fuck all that, fuck everybody, fuck
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like, man, and then when you go back and think about it, you're like, damn, now I shouldn't have
Yeah.
said, I shouldn't have said fuck the kids now, you know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Right. Right.
but
Very much so. Right. Right.
but man, we all are whips, man. We are a work in progress, man. We all are
Hmm.
works in progress. So,
I agree.
I, do I agree with the order of this? All of it? Nah, it
Mm.
depends on your
Yeah.
situation.
Depends. Depends on the situation. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I agree.
you know what? You know that's the 10. Y'all check
It,
out part one. If y'all haven't seen part one, go back to part one.
check it
We
out.
do 10 to 5. I
Hmm.
mean 10 to 6, and then this one was 5 to 1.
One.
And hey Phil, man, take us out, man. Give us the last word, man. The 10
You know,
relationship killers and your advice.
you know what, man. I'm gonna say this, man. Um, I thought it was a great conversation first and foremost. Hopefully, everybody check it on out from this point in time, and I know you guys will understand it and learn. Like, there's going to be moments and times that some are going to take other priorities than others. So know that, right? But know that these are just pay attention to what these killers are, right? And and learn from them. Let me just say it this way: learn from them, and learn a lot about yourself, right? Like a relationship, man. Don't put so much stress on you in this in relationship that you're in. Take a deep breath, man. Find some time, like you said before, man. Learn about you. Learn what's important to you. Learn how to communicate that stuff, man, the right way, and learn how to accept your partner, right? And the two of y'all, it's the two of y'all versus everybody else. And matter of fact, it ain't even versus anybody else. It's the two of y'all.
Yeah.
Period. It's the two of y'all. So the two of y'all figure that on out, man. And when y'all need help and it shit get tough and tight, you know you got places to go to get that help from. So just do things the right way, man. Don't make the mistakes that we've made in the past, and like you shut down, you do all this. You're gonna have those moments in time. That shit gonna happen, but don't stay in those places too long, man.
Yeah.
Don't stay in those places too long. Don't stay in them too long, man. You got somebody that loves you, man. You winning.
Yep.
You got a partner in that relationship that loves you. For you winning.
Yep.
You winning. That's my advice, brother.
Hey, we gonna end it on that note. So to my soul visionaries and my potential soul visionaries out there, like, share, subscribe, comment, and we gonna say peace.